Hey guys, it's Finding Prince Charming, Season 1, Episode 4, Appetite for Love. We are serving up flambe, Bombay at the soiree. Hey, join us and watch tonight.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I'm gonna sleep.
What? You said you're gonna sleep?
Yeah.
So rude.
This will give you good dreams.
Oh. Hello, everyone. Welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV's Finding Prince Charming, our weekly recap of this wonderful gay show. I am your host, Tony Moore, and I am joined by a few gaggle of gals. We have... Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't call you guys gals, apparently.
Oh, you've been reading the feeds.
We'll get into that.
So, starting to my far left, we have...
I'm all boys, so Chris Valentine.
And we have...
Hi, guys. I'm Jay Ellis.
And...
Hi, everybody. I'm Jesse D'Angelo.
Oh, I just like lowered my chair all of a sudden. And, of course, in the booth, we have the gal that's always the real gal, biological woman that's holding us down. We have...
Alexis Torres. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you for being here. She's already found her Prince Charming because she's engaged.
Stop it, Tony. Stop it.
But let's dive right into this episode. I'm just going to say that at the end of this episode, I was a little confused. So my face was reading, So I was a little confused about that. But anyway, let's start at the beginning before we get to the end. Post-elimination. Everyone was just kind of having a conversation, and people were very shocked about the fact that Robert exposed that him and Paul had a little smoocheroo going on. Dylan was visibly upset and just went straight to his room because he was still trying to process everything that happened, between him and Robert. What did you guys think post-elimination with Danique leaving and how the boys were feeling about the kiss and everything? It's all right, Jay. We know where you were.
Well, I feel like Robert is being authentic with letting the friend zone guys go. Why keep guys around if you're not really interested in them? So I like kind of where it's going in that sense.
I like that they followed the reactions of the guys regarding the kiss between Paul, because I remember last week we all kind of laughed at the other suitors' reactions when they zoomed in on them when Robert said, he made note of the kiss, and everyone was like, what? Like, we didn't know about that. So I like that they brought that up again.
It is always good to get reactions of contestants, too, not just, like, an interview about what they thought. It's nice to have them, like, on camera talking.
Yeah. No, I always like to see what their thoughts are like post-elimination, and everyone seemed to really love Danique, and his spirit, so...
I liked him in the 5 minutes that we got to talk to him last week.
Oh, me too.
Amazing.
He still made me laugh.
Awesome.
We were still rolling the intro, and he was like, scandal!
Scandal.
Yeah, I watched it back and I was dying.
That was Danique, guys, by the way.
Yeah. So then we have a breakfast surprise from Robert, who came early in the morning to cook breakfast for the boys, which, I mean, listen, if any man wants to walk in early in the morning and cook me breakfast, I am all for it. What did you guys think about Robert surprising the guys at the house with a little breakfast?
I'm a monster of a morning person, so I would not have taken well to anybody.
Oh, you don't wake up flawless?
No. I have, it's not cute. And I would have been like, oh, get out. Like, if a camera was in my face in the first, 2 minutes of me waking up, it just wouldn't be cool. But to wake up to, breakfast, so awesome. Like, that would be nice because I don't cook. So that would be awesome. But other than that, I wouldn't want to
breakfast.
I wouldn't want somebody who I was, trying to suit, to see me. That's too early in that. I can't do it.
No, I agree.
See, I would have been fine because, I would have been like I'm sorry, who's this? But when I...
2 hours before.
But when I wake up, it's just literally like this. Morning.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Well, if Robert is going to kind of get in bed under the sheets and covers, it's a warm, cuddly moment that really might work for me. So if I
See,
had,
that's why you're nasty.
That's right.
Why
I'm gonna own it. I'm gonna own it,
You
people.
are gonna own it. You are gonna own
So
it.
maybe 2 seconds to brush my teeth, and then I could pretend I was asleep again, and then Robert could kind of, do whatever he needed or wanted to do. I'm there
You
for
could
you.
Splash some water on your face, you crawl back into bed, and then he's like, "Hey guys," you're like, "What? I was sleeping."
Yeah, hairspray's already done. Yeah.
What's happening?
You know what I found very interesting was that Robert always tends to pull Paul to the side.
Yes.
Like him and Paul always have these little secret little, meetings with each other.
Because he pulled him first, right?
Yes.
They were all outside having coffee.
Everyone had their coffee except Paul, and he was like, "Well, let's go make coffee." And I wanted to be like, "Coffee's already made." I would have said, "The coffee's in there."
And then he threw a little accent on it. He was like, "Coffee, coffee."
Yeah, a
I'm
little
like,
coffee.
"Oh."
Yeah.
Robert keeps trying and trying and trying to make that connection with Paul. I do feel
I feel like there is a connection between him and Paul.
there's a connection. I think he likes the body type. I think he likes that he works, he travels, he owns his own business, all that stuff. I just feel that personality-wise, Paul needs to give a little bit more, lighten up, be less guarded.
But I feel like this: when you first meet someone, you always put like your best face forward, right? Like you don't open Pandora's box and let them see all of your flaws just yet, but you want to put your best self first. And I think that's what Paul is doing. And I also think that in this particular situation, there's so much going on. There are things that we don't see. There's camera people, there's production people, and all this stuff happening, and then you trying to establish this connection with this person. There's a lot going on. So of course you want to make sure that you're being your best self.
There are more elements than just a one-on-one situation.
That's what's hard is like you don't know how much these other 7 guys have divulged. So you don't. I mean, I wouldn't want to start off with like my deepest, darkest secrets and being like, here's about me, and it's just like something like a tragic story of when you're in 5th grade. So you want to you want your story to unravel kind of naturally.
Yeah.
And I think Paul, from what I've seen on the show, he's trying to still play coy and still kind of show he's interested, but just not. I don't reveal a lot about myself, and that's probably how I would go about the show too. I wouldn't want to put so much on TV, and I would want Robert to know about me, but not so much where I'm putting so much out of myself.
See, I agree with you, Jay. Like I give myself in doses, and the closer I get to you, the more you know about me. When you are in my inner circle, you know probably the most about me.
Right.
But it takes a lot to get there. Yeah.
When you're on a date, though, don't you want to be kind of fun and playful? Isn't that what men want? Maybe.
I mean, apparently I don't know what men want because I'm by myself. So
As
all
an
in the friend
expert.
zone.
That's part of putting your best foot forward is kind of having fun. And
Yeah.
I know there's a camera in your face everywhere, so it's kind of weird for Paul. But he has a lot of moments with Robert. He's getting a lot, like you said, he's being pulled away all the time. At some point, you need to forget the cameras are there and kind of be playful and less stiff. So, I understand where Paul's coming from, but I also think when you're on a date, whether you're a girl or a boy, you want to try to have fun. So that's part of something you want to put forward.
Plus, I think in that environment, I would imagine you'd feel this pressure, sort of an urgency to reveal a little more faster because you're on a dating show. You're there for 8 weeks, or so it's not a normal environment where you can sort of give.
But
doses
not too
as
fast though. You don't want to be too fast.
That's what I'm saying.
You don't want to be a fast ass. My mom always said, "Don't be a fast ass," and that means a lot.
Yeah.
On dates, she say that?
In life.
Okay.
In life.
Just in general.
Just in general.
I'm
You
gonna
don't wanna
take
be a
that
fast
advice with
ass.
me.
You probably should.
The rule
now.
of thumb is you don't go to bed on the first date, right?
Well,
Child, you know how many times people have broken that rule?
Okay, but that's a good place to start, people, right?
Look at old nasty.
I'm saying be good.
Look at old nasty.
Be virginal. Look at, I'm wearing white tonight. Be
You are wearing cream. Let's get that right.
speckled with some
well, with
sequin.
these bright lights, everything turns white when I'm watching back. I'm like,
The
oh my
devil
gosh.
is a liar. That is cream. You
I'm
know
gonna wear red next week, okay?
fitting. Fitting for old freak nasty.
What do you
over
guys
there.
want me to wear? I'll do it.
All right, so another person that pulled Robert to the side was Chad, and they had a nice little tight little moment
How
in the swinging
hangy chair
thing.
Yeah.
First of all, let me tell you,
Bassinet.
I feel like there's a weight capacity for that, and my big ass will not be sitting in a swinging thing with somebody else in fear that it will. I'd be like, you can sit in that one, because I just don't. Because I know my luck. It'll be like, oh, this is such a boom, bam, and then all of a sudden I'm on a blooper reel. Can't do it.
Let's just each get in one and maybe play footsie.
Yes,
so we can swing out to each other.
Yeah, I think that would even. Yeah.
But it was a very cute moment that they had, and of course there was another kiss. Now so I have my thoughts about this, especially what Robert said about these kisses that he keeps giving out. Before I tell y'all, I want to know what y'all think about these kisses that keep getting passed out by Robert. Go.
Well, I think Jesse put it well when he started calling them pecks because they're not full-blown kisses.
He's a pecker.
He's a pecker. You know, I don't necessarily like. Well, what do you mean by that? But anyways,
I feel like I need to get you a shirt that says "Old Freak Nancy."
You do it. I'll wear it. Okay. But anyways, I kind of like Robert that you're not doing those full-blown kisses all the time. You like. Save it for the special moments.
But they're kisses nonetheless.
They are kisses nonetheless. You know, when they all meet, if you watch the show, they're, you know, constantly meeting up every few segments, and they do little kisses on the mouth, but they're very fast. And then when he decides he wants to do a kiss, they're still on the mouth, just kind of sideways.
It's like a greeting. Like,
and I don't necessarily accept that. I don't, you know, in Beverly Hills, you don't do that.
No, there is a difference between a greeting kiss on the lips and like a kiss on the lips. Now, if you greet someone and it's on the lips, it's that to where your side like touches, but it like that's different.
It's still touching though. It's still touching. Do we still do that today, or is that just for the show? Okay.
I get those every once in a while.
Because I prefer the air kiss. You know, and you're, you know.
I actually do that with a bunch of friends.
Yeah, it's just that side kiss. But these are like full on, like I'm touching your lips.
Yeah,
kiss.
We got some of those tonight.
He's going in for a kiss, and I think and like I said last week, it's not my kissing style. Like I wouldn't feel comfortable with like that style of kissing unless we were gonna go like full blown into it.
What's your kissing style,
What's full blown into it?
Like if the pecs were like a lead into
like a lead in into like I think Chad was even trying to get like a tongue in there, and it wasn't connecting. And I think I don't know from this perspective, I don't want to go so deep into like a kissing analytical thing, but he's choosing like when people are coming up to get their tie straightened, he's doing like a kiss to some guys, but we still haven't seen Dylan get another like even like a peck. Robbie went in for like an actual kiss, and then they had that weird like, are we going in for another one? And then they both just kind of disengaged.
And it was kind of turned to the side, and I hope we get to that segment because I want to talk about that.
But see, this is how I felt when I saw Robert kiss Chad. Was if you're having connections with all these people, and a couple weeks ago everyone was like Team Dylan, Team Dylan, Team Dylan, and Dylan actually went in for a kiss and was kind of denied one, and so it makes me wonder.
What are you wondering?
We're taking it there.
I mean,
we did discuss this a little bit in episode 1.
I mean, I feel like, if you're having a connection with someone, then, Dylan's worthy of a pet kiss. However, I'm starting to now question whether Robert really does have a connection to Dylan or even attracted to Dylan. And we have a caller. So,
Yay.
Hello, caller. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Dishing Days. Wrong show. Yeah. Finding Prince Charming recap. Who do we have on the line?
Isn't it the sexy Chad?
Hello.
Hey, Chad.
Chad?
Can you hear us?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, this is actually Nick.
Oh, it's Nick. Sorry, Nick.
Oh my gosh.
Well, go ahead and patch Chad in. Yep. Surprise, everybody. We have a suitor calling you.
Or just pretend like you're...
Who's it going to be?
Right.
It sounded like Nick.
Poor Nick was like, I have no idea what these boys are talking about.
We're all Chad.
Yeah.
Hey, Chad.
Don't be shy.
Guys, it's Cher. It's really Cher on the phone.
Right. Or Beyonce.
So where were we?
We were talking to Chad.
Talking to Chad.
Were we?
While we're getting him.
Okay.
Chad, are you there? Not yet. All right, so I feel like, back to the kiss, if you have a connection with someone, then you kiss them. And Dylan did not get that kiss, so
do you think there was a connection, though?
I mean, it looks like that they're connected. However, I'm starting to question it.
Okay.
Because wouldn't the kiss be natural if you do have that connection?
Like they have been with everybody else. Paul. Who else has gotten a kiss? Chad got a kiss. Justin got the first kiss.
And so when he dodged it the first time, remember we were questioning maybe he wanted to be the one to initiate it, but then why didn't you do that tonight on that episode? If that was why he dodged it the last time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would have been, the time for redemption.
See, Grayscale is with me. They say, I don't think he likes Dylan, just keeping him on. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do.
I agree with you.
T. So speaking of Dylan, Robbie kind of instigates them, Robert and Dylan, having a chat since they haven't chatted since last week, and so they had a chance to just kind of clear the air. So that was good that they kind of got an understanding and were able to clear the air.
Hello.
Oh.
Chad.
Hello.
Hi, this is the real Chad.
Hey, the real deal.
Finally.
I don't know who the hell you were talking to before, but this is me.
We don't either. But
We're so glad you made it tonight, Chad.
Yes, thank you for calling in,
Yeah,
Chad.
honestly, I love you guys. I've been watching you, for the whole time, and yeah, I think you guys are very cute.
Thank you.
I have a lot to
Thanks,
say.
that's so nice.
And you know I said that about you like a few episodes ago, and now I'm going to super sexy Chad. I mean, Chad, let me just say this. I have
come on, I'm not all
I don't know if we all have, but I have seen your Instagram and your Twitter photos, and I'm not going to say they're selfies. It looks like somebody's taking your picture all the time, and they are phenomenal. So my first question to you
Don't
is,
make me blush.
did you lose a little bit of weight? I mean, you look so ripped in these pictures on Twitter and Instagram. Did you lose weight since the show?
Well, I mean, that's so funny. I was wondering the same thing. We had a very limited amount of equipment at the outdoor gym that you saw.
Okay.
It was, like a few free weights that went up to 45 pounds maximum. And, I'm not going to lie, I drank quite a bit when I was there. It was, obviously the same house that they use for other reality shows, and I really wish they staged it prior to our arrival, but, whatever.
Not much to do in the house, so.
But,
So what do you bench?
can you hear me?
Yeah,
we can hear you.
Only 45 pounds.
What do I bench? What do I bench? Oh my God.
What do you need to
This
get a
is
good
such
workout?
that's such like a mask for math.
You ever doing like a fitness bra?
We only ask the hard-hitting questions.
No. I don't know what I bench. I put I get like the barbell and I put like 245s on there. Sometimes I put another 25 on each side, and if I feel really good, I'll put another 25 on the other side. So
Well, you do more
I
than
don't
me,
know.
so.
What's that?
You do more than I do, so do an extra one for me, so that way I feel like I'm working out too.
Well, so let me tell you. I just watched the last episode.
Yeah, what are your thoughts?
That was pre-workout. I took about 3 scoops of No Explode, and I literally was like a Mexican jumping vein. I thought I was going to go through the fucking roof.
You
It
were
was insane.
everywhere during the. You were. I mean, I was
I was literally,
exhausted
like,
looking
climbing
at
the
you.
ceiling.
Were they serving up Red Bulls at the house like constantly? You had your choice of.
No, so we were in the car, waiting to arrive because it's reality TV. They have to set up the shot, you wait in the car, and then you go. And then in my bag, I had like a little gym bag, and I took the No Explode with me. So I took 3 scoops and just pretty much like put it in my mouth.
I need to get some of
chased it
that.
with water, and I was through the roof. Like I felt like a kid in the candy store.
But that's what Robert
I was
wants.
jumping on everything.
I took an anthropology class in college, and I had to observe lemurs, and it was very, very reminiscent of just a monkey jumping around. It was fun to watch, though.
They got their money's worth.
So besides,
Well, I guess I have to live by my my hashtag, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Besides like working out, what was the?
Um,
I was gonna ask, what's like the experience like in the house for you? What was it? What has it been like, or what kind of happened besides working out? What did you guys do? Yeah. Okay.
it was intense. It was intense. It was very intense.
That's what I was going to say, Chad.
For me, my heart was on the line. Like there was a lot of emotions running through me.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously in episode 2, you see kind of a different side of me, probably something that shouldn't have been exposed so early on.
Right.
But I'll come out with it later. But not to give away storyline, but like a lot of other gay men, I do suffer from depression and anxiety, and I get emotional at times.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Was it a challenge doing the show or being in this dating arena with you? Show a lot of emotion. So based on that, was it hard? A challenge?
It was very challenging, for sure. I mean, I have to say I made some incredible friendships in that house, and there were some misunderstandings as well, as obviously as you saw in episode 2.
Yeah.
Let me just let me just lay this out here right now. On episode 2, when all that happened with Eric, there was a heat wave in LA. Okay,
We're still experiencing that heat wave.
Probably like 115 degrees outside. The air conditioner in the house, in the main house, shut down. There was no air conditioning. It was hot as balls. I may have adjusted myself here or there.
I was going to say,
never
literally
came on to him.
hot as balls.
This is something that was a misunderstanding. I mentioned that I want to go to the pool house to cool off because the pool house had an external air conditioner. So that was the only cool room in the whole compound.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And I never invited him to come. He was complaining about the heat as well. And I have to also say, on another note, Eric is an incredible person, and it was just a misunderstanding. It obviously is blown out of proportion. I had a part in it, but I felt really taken out of my element and sort of cornered, and I was, I felt like, like, I can't believe this is happening. Like, why? How could you accuse me of doing something like this?
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I said. I felt like you were probably just adjusting your balls. So I didn't think it was an invite.
I'm a dude. Like, it honestly, 100%, I swear in my mother's life, it never happened.
See? Well, thank you for clearing that up.
Did you guys?
Thank you.
Yeah. Cool.
My reaction could have been a little bit more mature, but I take full accountability for the way I reacted, and you'll see how it pans out. You'll see how it pans out.
Can't wait.
Now, fans who are watching us live, one of them would like to know about your parrot because they are obsessed with that bird.
Okay, so I love all animals, all creatures of God, but I have a bird, and he's pretty cool.
What's his name?
I actually taught him Mandarin. His name is Cosmo.
That's right.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
His name is. He speaks Mandarin. I taught him Chinese.
And you speak Mandarin too?
Well, now I feel just.
I speak a few words. So, I'm a real estate agent in New York, but what a lot of people don't know about me is that I lived in Dubai for 2 years.
Cool.
And when I lived in Dubai, I worked for an international airline based there. I can't really name the airline, but I got to fly all over the world, and I learned a lot of languages, got to absorb a lot of cultures, and so I taught my bird Mandarin. Why not? I thought it's a cool party trick.
That's awesome. I think that's
Hey, welcome to
fantastic.
my house.
I felt like we almost heard him in the background. An animal or a dog in the background. It was Cosmo.
No, those are my friends howling. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Watching the after show.
I'm in the guest bedroom right now. Those are my friends howling in the living room. They're actually watching you live right now.
Oh, hey guys. Hi, friends.
Chad, another thing that a fan wanted to ask about, it was reported earlier that, you lost your job because of the show. Did you ever find another one? Do you want to clarify that? Like, is everything
that
okay?
I can't talk about.
Okay.
That I can't talk about.
Well,
Gotcha.
if you need help, let us know. Because we'll put it out there. No problem. We'll start.
I am on the search for a new career.
Well, you can take your bird on the road.
I'm kidding. I don't know. Like, honestly, it is what it is. And, I take life as it comes.
Yes.
And life has thrown me a lot more extreme curveballs before. Like, I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot of hardship, and I think it makes me who I am today. It makes you stronger. And I mean, look, I lost my best friend 3 years ago from meningitis. I got meningitis 4 months ago. It was intense. Like, and I did it right before the show, so I was also in an emotional state. A friend of mine conned me out of $60,000 before. So, I've been through a lot of shit.
Oh, that's a lot.
But it made me a lot stronger, and it made me a lot more, I guess, pliable. That's what my hashtag
Or
meant,
flexible.
by the way.
Flexible.
Yes.
Yes.
Flexible. You can throw whatever you want at me, and I can take it.
Oh,
So,
well, see when life
that's what I
hands you
meant.
lemons, you're like Beyonce and make lemonade.
With a baseball bat and a car.
Yeah.
Don't tell that to Dylan. He's been calling himself Beyonce the whole time at the house.
Let me
He calls
tell you.
everybody else Michelle.
Let me tell you about Dylan. Okay, now Dylan I know Dylan. Dylan swears up and down that he is Beyonce. The next time you see him, you look at him and you say you are Latavia, and he will understand wholeheartedly what you mean.
I think we all can get what that means.
I
Yes.
hope he's watching.
Yes. Oh, well, if he's watching, he
Dylan.
knows I call, hey,
Dylan.
Latavia, how are you?
That's a low blow.
No, it's not a low blow. It's not a low
I
blow when
can't
it's true.
comment on that.
Yeah.
But
You
I'm
just
laughing.
excuse yourself from it,
It's
Chad.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dylan, talks about how it was Beyonce the whole time,
Lies.
Dylan.
Oh, lies. Well, Chad, thank you so much
He
for.
can dance. Dylan can dance, let me tell you. He
He's-
knows,
I
that
wanna
boy
see
knows
that.
how to dance.
Dylan's all right, but in comparison to the actual Beyonce
Enough about Dylan.
who was
Enough
chatting
about
with
Dylan.
you, then no, he can't do it. But Chad, thank you so much for joining us. We're gonna get back to recapping this fun episode, and hopefully you continue to tune in,
It's my pleasure.
and hopefully we'll chat with you again soon.
Thank
Absolutely.
you, Chad.
I'm going on my 4th glass of rosé, and, Shana Sova. I'm a Jew, by the way.
Party with the friends.
Exactly. Hey,
Well,
good
have
night,
fun
fellas.
and tell everyone we said hello.
Thank you, Chad, so much.
I will.
All right.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Chad.
Aw.
Bye.
Bye. That was nice of him
How
to call
lucky
in.
are we? Third guest star in a
Yes.
row.
All right, are we ready to plow through
Let's
this
do
recap?
it, Tony.
plow.
Here we go. All right, so right before Chad came on, I was saying that Dylan and Robert talked. It looks like they have cleared the air, I guess, assumingly. And then Lance comes in and talks about the solo dates, which is a tasty date, which is one person will be the appetizer, one person will be the main, and one person will be dessert. Really quickly, before we go into that, which one of you guys would you be? Like, would you be the appetizer, the main, or the dessert?
I would be all three. I don't share, my man. If
You
I
tried
was- I want all three. Yeah, I don't want sloppy seconds, and I don't want to compete. So Robert would have to just take me all three parts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jay?
I think appetizer would be kind of like the lightest, and for this kind of situation, I'd want kind of like an easy breezy kind of feel.
Cover
Beautiful
girl.
cover girl.
I know. I
Yeah.
was waiting for Robbie to say that. Cover girl.
Yeah.
Jesse?
I have to agree just because if someone was great as an appetizer, I don't want to have to follow that. And then dessert, I feel like you have this expectation to close out
Yeah.
the 3-course date with like a bang. So I think appetizer, least pressure.
Well, let me close this out by saying I would be the dessert because there's nothing wrong with a little bit of chocolate.
Well, Robert was throwing around a lot of sexual innuendo throughout the whole show, so it's not just me now. Thank you, Robert, for helping out with that. But it's like, I'm going to have him for dessert. I'm going to have him for dessert.
Well, listen,
Which
when
is
you
great.
get gay men in the room, of course, there's been a lot of sexual innuendos in this recap.
Just trying
From-
to keep the viewers tuned in.
From one.
So we have Robbie as the appetizer, Eric as the main, and Brandon as the dessert.
And I am so glad he chose those three because they
Yes.
haven't had a chance. That was a great, Robert.
They
And,
have
and
it.
I do think that each of those fit those like meals. If that
Literally.
if that makes sense. I think I
It
like
was
each one of those
perfect.
positions.
It was
Absolutely.
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah.
Paul is a little jealous
Good.
about
Very
the
jealous.
date, but okay. I love the scene when Brandon was trying to find something to wear, and so he enlisted Justin and Dylan.
Yes.
I love that scene because you need your friends to like help you out for a date. So that was like a good little
You would wear a
kiki
skirt
moment.
without us approving it, right?
I loved it too because here we have a perfect example, and these aren't friends in a way. I mean, they are, but they are probably seen as competitors on most reality shows. And here you have gay boys helping out, or gay men helping out each other, just like from the
Yes.
episode before with Robbie doing that. I loved it. I love that they helped him pick out his clothes and get ready. I thought it was awesome.
That was great. I
Brandon
like that moment.
posted something, I think, yesterday or recently, but it was like a picture of him and Justin. Like, oh, I miss my friend Justin or something.
Jay, do you know what day that was
I
that
know
Brandon
I
posted?
know nothing about that.
Are you sure?
I haven't heard anything from Brandon. No, I don't know anything.
Interesting. All right, so let's talk about the dates. So Robbie, I thought they had a nice, playful, fun date. Robbie loves the smell of Robert's beard.
Yes.
But the concern that Robert has with Robbie is that he feels like he's just fun and funny all the time, and that is hiding something. And I know that some people do feel like, coming from a very fun and funny person, people feel like you're guarded and that you're hiding something. Yeah. But I like what Robbie said, which was, no, I use this to break other people's walls down, which... It does help.
Which I almost think he did immediately after the kiss when they had that weird, kind of like that, are we going to go back in for it? He went to, oh, your beard. Like, I think he used that humor just like a really quick, like, he didn't want Robert to feel like awkward about like the kiss just happening. Because, I mean, Robbie really took it into his own hands to get a kiss.
Yeah.
Exactly. And he just really diffused this situation by like, oh, your beard. Because it just kind of, it kind of throws you off your step and you're like, oh, okay, like, right, we're back to a conversation.
Because once again, Robert kind of turns to the side a little, and you have the face, which is good. Why just go crazy with everybody? But an interesting little fact. I saw a study that just came out last week that said, I don't know if you'll find this interesting, but you know how he's saying he loves the smell of his beard? That study said a gay guy can sense the smell of another gay guy, and he's more attracted, gay guys are more attracted to gay guys. Isn't that interesting?
I feel like they do that without a fragrance, though. Like,
smell means a lot.
Wait, are you trying to say that you can smell the gay on someone's beard, and then you know?
They did it in like the Netherlands, and they didn't. The smell was they give different smells. The person wasn't there, and it was like incredible the results. A gay guy would always choose another gay guy. They knew that the smell. So I thought that was interesting.
I've been depending on my gaydar to help me, but I guess I can just go
I have no gaydar.
Can you stop really quick for a second?
Yeah.
I have no gaydar. All I got is Jesus. All right, so
And Beyonce.
Take the wheel.
And Beyonce. Hopefully, Robert is hoping, doesn't know if he can get Robbie out of the friend zone. Bless his heart. And Robbie goes back and tells everyone that the date did end with a kiss.
And once
Paul
again,
is still jealous. All right, so Eric's date. What do we think about Eric's date? The main dish. There was chemistry between them, I thought.
It's like,
Yes.
And they both had butterfly. I really do like to see that they're all so nervous, and
They
and
get
they have
lost in
butterflies.
him. They all kind of say the same
Yes.
thing. I got lost in his eyes. They really all seem like they're falling for him. How great is that? Great casting. And then the other thing, can we just do a little side note here? We missed something last week that you guys brought up. Did you see that 2-second flash of Eric's body in underwear? It was like really, really fast. And we did not comment it last week, and we are sorry for that, but please check that out. It was something.
yeah, Eric's gorgeous.
Yeah. I'm like, what was that?
Yeah.
I
definitely missed it.
I will watch the show over again on a giant screen. I'm like, oh, I did not see that before.
Slow motion.
Don't turn this into a sexual thing. I'm just saying these little elements that I missed.
We should open up with, because I'm going to be a freak until today.
That's next week. Okay, you're going to pick the music.
So we can
Get my freak on.
Adina Howard?
Yes.
Howard?
Yeah.
Adina. It's on the iPod. It's on the iPod. Don't worry about
You're
it.
talking about Missy Elliott song, right? Because I like that one.
Oh, no, that's Adina Howard.
Oh, okay. Sound a little different. Get your
So,
freak on.
Eric feels a connection that he hasn't felt in a very long time. Eric did bring up his last relationship, which I thought you should never talk about your previous relationships on the first date, but who am I?
He kind of cut it short right away, though. It was smart.
Yeah, but it just shows that he's open and willing to talk, which we all know that Robert likes. Now let's get to the dessert. To the dessert, which is Brandon.
Flambe.
Serving it.
You've all been waiting for this. Go ahead.
Yes.
Jay.
I'm happy that he got screen time. I liked watching Brandon. I think he's genuinely like the only problem I had was that he was kind of giving Robert these like ask me about my life too, reciprocate like the questions, because I think he wants to open up about how it wasn't so easy. Like Robert, I'm so happy he had an easy time, not an easy time coming out, because it's never very easy for anybody. But he had like a very easy structure because he had a gay uncle and a gay aunt. But Brandon didn't have that, and he got kicked out. So I wish that we got that story. I really wish we did. This was like the perfect opportunity to hear more about that.
And when I saw it start, I was like, oh, good. Because
Yeah.
I feel like I've heard people commenting on that, and we've read it, that there isn't substance like that, you know, past like perpetuating stereotypes. That's what I've read. So I saw that and I was like, oh great, and then it just got cut short.
I thought we were gonna get it.
And maybe they did, and it just got
didn't make the
Right.
cut.
Like they're just not ready. The show isn't ready to show us that yet.
Yeah.
Well, I wish that Robert had fed him dessert because if you watch, that's so sweet. You know, that's a really good sign on a date when a guy or whoever
did.
Robert fed
on the
Brandon
dessert, he fed Robbie, he fed Eric.
Can we go to a clip?
He did.
He did?
Yeah, let's go
He
to a clip.
did.
That's why I watched it over and over.
He fed Brandon.
Didn't I ask you that because all three got something that they were?
Yeah,
That's
he
so
did.
sweet. Thank
Yeah.
you. That was
Yeah.
great. Those moments matter.
Let me tell you, if we're on an eating date, don't bother trying to feed me.
Me neither.
Like,
Why?
I'm good.
Why?
Because no, that's not cute.
I
let
totally
me
agree.
eat.
I
Like, let me eat.
It shows the
And-
guy wants to take care of you, though.
That's fine.
And I don't share
Wait,
either. Like,
yeah.
it's like,
I
get
don't
out.
share either. I don't share either. I get the amount of food that I know is gonna fill me up, and
Right.
if you take something, that's gonna mess me up. All right, so let's now talk about the next date, which I didn't realize all the other guys were gonna get a date. Justin,
that was a
Paul,
nice
Chad, and Dylan,
But I like
which was a workout date. What did we think about this date? Because we obviously saw that Robert started to think of Paul differently. And noticed that he wasn't having fun. He felt like he wasn't being authentic. Other thoughts?
I
that
think
we had?
so far, the initial connection that he developed with Paul in the beginning has kind of carried him through so far. So anytime he saw a little bit of like him not being authentic, as Robert described it, it was like, oh well, he fell back on the connection they had. But I think this really opened him up to, okay, maybe I just can't get past it.
Yeah.
Well, Chad was busy working out, jumping around, which was fun. And we didn't get a pull from Justin either, which I always like when him and Justin have a moment because I like watching Justin
Justin
as well.
got a haircut at some point during the episode. Did you notice that?
Well, it's Salon de Robbie.
Right.
That's when it happened, because I was thinking that's when it had to have happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anytime we can get physical exercise into the episode, I'm good. So I was happy. I'm happy.
Oh,
And exercise is so important for all levels of health.
it is very important. But I think I would have been like Paul. Like I would have been like, y'all got a bitch working out. Like, girl.
I probably
You're trying to look cute, and you're
Yeah, you trying to
know
look
what I
cute and
mean?
you sweating and all, and I would have been like Paul too. I'm not sitting on the ground in white. And then you sit down and it
no.
looked like you got.
You would not get my tie. I'd be like, I would have liked Chad. Like that's what I like to do.
Yeah.
I'm like Chad. I bounce around like a nutcase.
Going back for 2 seconds, I wanted to point out that I like that Brandon was very open about his addiction to alcohol and drugs, cocaine specifically. And I like that he was able to share that story and share what the necklace meant to him, which was the day that he decided to really get himself together.
That helps a lot of people, Brandon.
yeah.
Thank you for doing
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
Because it's so many people are going through those things.
And it's something that is, prevalent in our community. So
It really is.
Yeah, so I'm glad that they are featuring this, and bravo to you, Brandon, for recognizing your addiction and getting help for it, because some people do not.
Don't get there.
And sometimes it's too late. So I
Yeah,
commend
and you don't
Brandon for
have to.
doing that.
I know, like everybody's drinking at the house, but you're not. That's
Yeah.
great. You don't have to.
Exactly. And I like that he's not, bothered by it.
Yeah.
So that's good. Rushing through this very quickly. One thing I noticed is with Dylan and Robert, I felt like Dylan has such a connection with Robert, and I don't feel that back from Robert. Like I felt like when Dylan was like, I'm gonna fix your hair every time you come up, I thought that was cute.
That was
But then he didn't come all the way up so that Dylan could fix it. Oh, so you don't want Dylan to fix your hair?
He wants Robbie to like cut it up.
Right.
I don't think that, but I don't. I would feel awkward if that was me doing a sit up and somebody wanted to touch my hair every time I came up too. That's like too much.
I do agree, but it's just coincidental
It's just
when
trying
you
to be
tie it in with
cute.
like,
But don't try to be cute. Just be cute. Like do it once.
don't try to get cute with me, okay? Let me do the damn
Get
sit.
drop dead gorgeous, Alyssa Edwards.
I don't get cute. I get drop dead gorgeous.
Gorgeous. I did notice that Paul was the only person that got a kiss on the lips, and everyone else got a kiss on the cheek.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
so
pointed that
many
out while we were watching it.
chances.
And then he still gets the boot.
Yeah. Well, so going on to the black tie affair. Well, really quickly, Lance and Robert have a little wrap-up meeting, which I do enjoy that they do that, and they basically address a lot of the things that we had already talked about. And one of the main things is that he was having an issue with Paul. and still on the fence about Dylan, and had great dates with Eric and Brandon, and feels like Robbie may still be in the friend zone, so he's not sure. So we get to the black tie affair. Staying is Brandon, Chad, Eric, Dylan, Justin. It got down to Robbie and Paul. Robert wants Robbie to be more serious. He wants Paul to be more fun, and in the end, Paul goes home.
Shocker.
I was actually
Shocker.
I was shocked.
I was confused because, and even I said it at the end, I was like, I'm confused. And I am, because I really thought out of everyone, he had the best connection with Paul. And then, but you're going to let him go? I don't get that. So, but whatever. I'm not on the show.
I'm glad Robbie is still there, though. I mean, you
I
can't
am
let
too.
Robbie go.
Yeah.
He is the comic relief of this show. He's got those quick one-liners all the time.
Yes.
So, yeah, he's crucial.
Because when he friend zoned Danique, you know, he left that night. So when he brought up the friend zone, I was like, oh no.
Yeah,
Robbie's
I'm
gonna
like,
go.
oh, Lord, Robbie's going.
Do you think that he just kept trying to push it with Paul, and Paul just wasn't giving enough
Yes.
of himself? So then he was just like,
Absolutely.
well, if it's not happening yet, because we've had these other guys kind of have their breakthroughs and just. And I'm sympathizing with Paul, because I would probably be in that same position where I wouldn't share that much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But there's chemistry there. Like, you don't let someone go if you really feel like there's something there, and they both recognize that. So why would you let him go? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, it's not as if he didn't keep trying, though, over and over and over again. So it's.
Well, and Paul
It's
kept
Robert's
saying,
decision.
he's like, I know I need to show him that I can be a little more vulnerable, so I don't think it was for lack of trying. I think Paul was maybe doing the best that he could too, and it just, they weren't meeting up.
Right.
Yes. Well, before we have to wrap things up, let's quickly get to some news and gossip.
Were you expecting that?
Jesse's expecting it.
So I just want to say that last week's episode between Drag Race as the lead and Finding Prince Charming, Logo had its highest rated Thursday in history.
Congrats. It was a big
I'd like to
episode of
think
Drag
that we had
Congratulations.
something to do with that. Bringing the viewers in.
Yes. Well, speaking of our viewers, thank you guys for always tuning in live and always commenting. We really appreciate just the success that we've seen this show have. So thank you guys so much for watching. A little bit of some tea for you guys.
Ooh.
Where
were you this weekend?
Well, this
Tony?
weekend I met Paul
Yeah.
Oh.
and Eric. And I saw Robert actually twice. So I went out to West Hollywood Saturday and Sunday. And
Can we say where? Because you know I like locations.
well, yeah, I was at the Abbey. And
the Abbey. Okay,
yes.
good. My
and
favorite.
so I saw Robert, but I was just too shy to go up to Robert and say, hello, hi, I'm Tony. I
no,
recap
no.
your show. So I couldn't do that. And then I saw him again in West Hollywood, and I wanted to do it again. And like we were literally back to back with each other.
At
to
Mickey's,
where,
right?
This was at Bar 10. And all I had to do was turn around and go, hello, Robert. But I did not do that. I was so scared to do that. I couldn't.
no.
But I did meet Paul. Paul was in West Hollywood, just kind of standing on the street. And I walked up to him and I was like, Paul? And he was like, yes. And he was like, oh my God, you're from the show. And I was
Oh,
like, from
cool.
AfterBuzz.
Oh,
And he
that's
was
so
like,
great.
yeah, I watch you guys. You guys are so great. Paul is like the sweetest guy ever. Very
sure.
nice, very chill, very easy to talk to. Him and I and Dylan was on his way to meet Paul, but ran into us. We all hung out briefly in West Hollywood, and it was fun.
Did you
And
get any
it was great.
behind the scenes info?
No, because
That's not what you do.
Well, no, but also I just kept thinking like
It's
Paul,
what I do.
Paul is he's so sweet. He's
And
just
everyone
so
on the show, I
nice
feel like,
guy.
says that everyone's confessionals, they say Paul is the nicest, sweetest
Yes.
guy, and that obviously comes off.
So he is. So that was that tea, and and also that I was super shy to talk to Robert. So Robert, if you're watching this and you see me, come say hi to me.
And if I see you guys, I want pictures with all of you. It's what I do, okay? I have no qualm going up to
I'm just trying to figure out what those pictures would look like.
Yeah.
Selfies aren't good. I want somebody else to take a picture. It's too close. So I like, I'll give it to anybody.
They'd be like, pop off that shirt. Let's
Yeah, right? All right, well, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us this evening for another recap of local TV's Finding Prince Charming. Before we go, guys, where can they find you via social media?
Well, tweet me something I can retweet at AKA Golden Boy. And won't you please be my friend? go to my website, chrisvalentine.la, and check out all my social media links.
I thought you were going into like a haiku there or something.
I want friends.
I'm going to say it for Grant because he's not here this week, so Grants__rants if you want to follow one of our other hosts who might be popping in. And thank you, Chad, for calling in. I'm Jay Ellis. You can find me on Twitter at still_jealous, JELLIS. And then Instagram if you want to see me riding a unicorn, don't_be_jealous, JELLIS.
I'm going to check that out.
Oh, I don't have any posts like that, but you can find me on all social media platforms at Jesse J. D'Angelo. And thanks everyone for watching and listening.
And of course, you guys can find me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony or my website, loungingwithtony.com. And of course, you can find us here next week for another fabulous recap of AfterBuzz TV's Finding Prince Charming. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.